What's up in War Eagle, everybody? It's your guy, Ike Jones, and we are back with another edition of Watch the Film. And you see what we got cooking up. The man, Ben Grubbs, is back in here. So that means we are going to be talking about offensive linemen when he is in the building. Ben, I appreciate you giving us a little time. Tonight, we are talking about Percy Lewis, the transfer offensive tackle from Mississippi State. Before we get into the film about Lewis, just what were your thoughts on what you watched from him?
Well, my first thought was he's a big man, and I a big man that can move. So that combination. When you have size and skill, you got a dangerous combination, and he's very explosive too. So I was surprised to see how agile and explosive he was coming off the ball.
Okay. All right. Well, we're going to take a look at some of his film from last season versus LSU. A couple of clips from LSU, and then another few from the Alabama game last year.
Okay.
But let's get over and see what the film is telling us. All right. Again, this first play here. So we're looking at Percy Lewis. He's right here. He's going to be the left
Yep.
tackle, number 75, and all of the ones that we're doing here. Just initially, let's talk about the stance. Like, what do you feel? How you feeling about how he's lined up here?
The stance it looks good. Stance is something that it's not like one size fits all. Typically the taller players will have a longer stagger, and also offensive tackles would typically have a longer stagger because just of what the position demands. But his stance looks good. He looks balanced, and he's right now. I can't tell if it's a run or a pass, which is good. You don't want to give it away.
One of the things we haven't really talked about this, but like pre-snap reads from the tackle position, right? Like
Mhm.
when you're sitting out here, what are your eyes towards right now?
Um, well, based on the play, if it's a pass play, I tell my guys, hey, look at what you look at your work. Keep your eyes on your luggage, because in order for you to take the appropriate set, you got to see where you need to go, and it's based on the alignment of the defensive guy. But if it's a run, you kind of want to scan your area,
Mm.
because depending on the scheme, zone or man, you may or may not have the guy that's most people think you'll have,
Right.
because it just depends on the blocking scheme.
All
But
right. Well, let's
right
take a
now,
look
it
at the
looks like
play.
he's looking at 17.
Yeah, yeah. Let's take a look at the play, and then we'll kind of go back and walk our way through it. So
Good stuff.
what are you liking about this or not liking about what we have going on here?
Pass play. Uh, Great. Get set. Um, Let me see more. I like his reach. Obviously, when you look at offensive tackles, especially left tackle, you want someone that's long, that can stick his arm out and touch somebody from a mile away. And you see that reach right there. I mean, he's fully extended, and he made the first significant touch. I don't know what his wingspan is, but he definitely has the potential to keep guys at distance when it comes to pass protecting. He did a great job. When I talk about pass protection, like, once again, it's all about first significant touch. Usually, if you can make that first touch and make it significant, you got a better chance of winning. Good. Punch and move your feet. It's all about, it's eyes, feet, then hands. That's the progression of run or pass blocking. So, like we talked about, you want to see where you got to go. Your feet will take you where you need to be, and last but not least, your hands are your weapons. You want to make contact.
Okay, so this is a pretty good rep right here from Percy Lewis, doing a
Hmm.
good job of keeping the guy. He's trying to guess give him a little um swipe there, and he's not going for it.
Yeah, inside out, did a great job keeping him outside and making him go the long way.
All right, let's get over into the next one here, also from the LSU game. So again, we're looking at the left tackle. So this is going to be him down here on this side.
Hmm. Oh my gosh, that explosiveness is what I talked about earlier. You want to hit if the timing is right, you want to hit on the second step. If you hit on the first step, that means you're reaching,
Mm,
and it can set you up for failure if the guy chooses to slant in or out. So that first step sets the track. The second step we call is the power step. It's, if you can make contact on that second step, you got yourself something. And
mm.
he's able to hit off that second step and displace number 13 just off of his just off of his initial strike. I mean, he's showing great explosiveness right there. I mean, he brought the hips, he gave everything he had into that block. 13 does not want any any of that. And it's not much you can do when you got that when you're 6'7", 350 pounds. When that's coming at you.
Mm.
Yeah, good leg drive too.
All right. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, like, yeah, I'm 5'11", right? So, like, for me to see him get and maintain this, pad level underneath this guy, and then, this is what it looks like on the what do they call a little thing that they move with the
The
when they're doing the
sled,
blocking drills?
the sled or the
Yeah, the
hinge.
sled. Yeah, man.
Yeah,
This
yeah.
this looks like he's doing the sled drill right here.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, sir. I mean, he just moved that guy two 2 to 3 yards
Mm.
against his will.
I like it. I like it. Hopefully,
Yeah,
we'll see some of that on Saturday in
exactly,
this
man.
first game.
Yes, sir.
All right, let's move over to the Bama game again. Looking at the left tackle right here, Percy Lewis. That was a weird cut.
So I added this clip because this is called a backside cutoff block, one of the hardest blocks for an offensive lineman to make. And as you see, this defensive tackle, he's in a four-eye position, so he's inside shade of the offensive tackle. The play is going away from him, so he's backside,
Hmm.
has no help. He has to his first step once again has to set the track, which also sets his angle, and he has to throw his hat play side.
Hmm.
And this is a hard block, very hard block, and he makes it look easy. He did a great job
So
getting
there you go.
right
So
there is
first
where you
step
want to
sets
be.
the track, and then
First
like
step
you
sets
said,
the track. Yep, hat placement is thrown play side, and that's where you want to be. And then from there, he's able to make a decent block. That's a really good block. Even though he played over top at the end, that's I wouldn't even grade off for that because this defensive tackle has a lot of space that he can use to get away from the block.
hmm
So right now he's going backwards, and in order for him to disengage, he has to lose more ground to get away from Percy. So I mean, this is a good block. I love it. I love it. That's not an easy block, especially for a big guy to make.
yeah. I mean, to your point here, if they win better on the front side of this, like he'd have to make this tackle 4 or 5 yards down the field. He's not
Yeah,
going to be able
well,
to go down the
what
line of
you
scrimmage.
really want when it comes to zone, if something happens backside, the natural track for the running back is to cut back.
Hmm.
And what Percy, can you go back from the start? So the left tackle took his guy from point A and probably moved him 5 to 10 yards
Mm,
to the right, and that cutback lane is behind Percy.
mm.
If he wants to take it, it's there
Ah,
in between whoever this is over here, 98 or
the
88
tight end.
tight end, yeah, in between 88 and
Yeah,
his
so this
block.
is kind of this H-back tight end that's coming in across
Yeah.
here. And so you're saying as he washes him down the line of scrimmage, you've got that
Mhm.
cutback lane right back
Yep.
through here.
Yep. Yep. You press it play side and you'll naturally fall into that cutback lane. But
Yeah.
he kept it play side. But yeah, that's a good block.
Mm. Nice, nice. Let's move on to the next one here.
Good. So I like this one. So I added this one just because of the awareness that he has. He noticed his guy go in on this stunt. This is called a T stunt.
Hmm.
No, a TE stunt. So the defensive tackle is trying to penetrate to pick Percy, Um, but because he recognized that he was able to close on it, he did a good job setting vertical. I don't know what the down the distance is, but it's if it's an obvious passing down, then he would have expected this to happen just based off of the situation that he's in or film. But you see his eyes turn right there. He knows what's up. So he's going to block 92 now. He should be saying go, 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 switch, switch, switch. So his offensive guard will know that the looper is coming around. It's a good awareness, Bob.
So this a good point to bring up here in terms of the communication between the guard and the tackle here, right? So like once you recognize that this stunt is coming, right? Like okay, now we need to be. I get my eyes around. I need to talk to him.
Hmm.
Um, the the tackle here is trying to split these two guys, right? He's trying to
Correct.
either pick here or he's trying to split. But
Right.
preferably, he wants to do both. He wants to interfere here and then get
And
in between
ricochet
to get
off.
up for him. Yeah.
Yep.
So how are you making sure that you all are handing this off properly? Because I mean, there's a little too much space between these two right here. Or how should that happen as far as their levels are concerned to make sure they're passing this off properly?
In an ideal situation, you want the guard to not give up that much penetration. But because Percy's set was more vertical, he's still able to be in position when he closed down on 92. He's still able to be in front of him.
Hmm.
Usually that doesn't happen. I think the guard set is why this block was successful. I
Hmm.
mean, I'm sorry, the tackle set is probably why this block is successful. Um, and I would like for the guard to get more of him. And I know we were taught, especially when I was in Baltimore, to snap the three technique off. So when we noticed the defensive tackle going to pick the offensive tackle, instead of carrying him to the tackle, try to snap him off. And two things that happen. So we will deliver the D tackle to the offensive tackle better, and we'll be in position to block the looper. So we can do two. We'll be able to do two. We'll be able to do two things at one time: snapping off, be able to block the looper at the same time. There is a little bit more penetration than I like, but Percy was able to close it down, and it didn't impact the play at all. Quarterback was still able to get the ball off.
Yeah, he threw it behind him.
Yeah,
That's a late throw
yeah,
over the middle of the field. That's crazy. Anyway, we're not here to critique quarterback play. We'll keep
right,
it moving. All
yeah.
right, next one here. Mm,
Mm, mm. Second level destruction. I like it. So this is it's supposed to be a combination block between the left tackle and the F right here. So it's his job to hand the five technique off to the F, and really 88 is his hat should be play side, just
mm,
like Percy's rep
right,
that we watched maybe two clips ago.
right.
His hat should be more play side. But anyway, Percy did his job, got to the linebacker and destroyed him. Um, his and that's one thing that was obvious, was just his initial strike. You can clearly see that he's impacting the defender's movement, um, whether it's a rush or whether he's trying to defend the run. His first hit, like you see pass lifting, you see the head go back, or you see guys on the ground, and so that tells me he has
Mm,
heavy hands,
mm.
heavy hands.
Yeah, he absolutely washes out this linebacker.
Washes him out, yeah. And there's that back door that we talked about.
Yeah,
Yep.
nice,
So
nice.
you can say that even though he's backside, he's still at the point of attack because the ball's cutting back.
Right.
So that running back's finding his way back to that left side, even though the play wasn't designed to go there. You're
Mm,
running behind the guy who's mowing down people.
right. Nice.
Yep.
All right. Next play here.
Nice redirect. Nice redirect. To be able to kick and and shut down an inside move like that is nice. And if you notice that extra push that he gave him right there when he got that extension, that long arm right there,
Hmm.
I mean, somebody else without that reach, the defensive tackle could probably get through that. That's a big hole to get through.
Hmm.
And I would say, oh man, he's about to lose this rep. But because of his range, he was able to shut it down. His feet are not where they need to be, but his reach saved the block.
So what
But
do you?
initially,
What about his feet here?
his kick, that's beautiful. Closing it, his kick was nice. Right there, you don't want to be you want your feet to always be underneath your hips. And
Hmm.
as he continues to go in, if you can pause it, keep going right there. Anybody else, that's a missed block. Um, somebody, I don't I would say like, man, he's about to miss this block. Quarterback is about to get pressure. But as you can see, he was able to finish it nicely with that one arm right there, that left arm. He has really long arms. That's what you want your left tackle to have. You want your left tackle to look like him. I'm glad he's on our team. He's going to help us for sure, man.
All right, let's see what we got here on the next one.
Mm. Once again, now, he pressured or even sacked the quarterback, but this strike is what I right there. That significant touch again. I think he kind of got caught up. I think the running back ran into the back of his legs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, wasn't able to sustain his block. Um, that's unfortunate. But I think if it wasn't for that, he would have been just fine because he was in great position. I love the strike. Love the strike. He moves really well.
Yeah,
He's
that's a big
vertical.
dude.
Yeah, he's setting. Can you go back to the start?
Hmm.
So he has to set vertically because of the wide defensive tackle. That he's in like a 4-eye position. You don't know if it's a game. So I'm pretty sure his coach teach or taught him to set more vertically to um, to handle the game if there is a stunt. But when you set vertical, you're giving up a lot of space, a lot of ground, and you're susceptible to the bull rush, which is what he gave him. But he was able to shut it down. He sat down on it and ate it. I think he would have been fine if it wasn't for that running back running into the back of his legs.
Hmm.
I don't like vertical setting because it does cause you to be more susceptible to the bull rush, and it's looked at as a less physical set. When you are able to set on a 45-degree angle, you can be more strong in your set. You can throw your hands a lot more with a lot more power behind it, and you're not absorbing contact. You're able to give it. But when you got a vertical set, you got to do it just to handle the game. So he did a great job. And you know
So
what I mean when I say vertical setting,
like he's going
straight back.
backwards
Yeah,
this directionally.
his inside foot isn't gaining too much width. Is if you draw a line, it would probably go straight back.
Yeah, so his left foot is about right here, and he's gonna be pretty much on this
His,
line right
yeah,
here.
right foot, yeah.
Right foot, excuse me. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Yep. And you see the space that he's giving that rusher, and that rusher's like he's going to take that bull every time. But he did a good job setting on it.
All right, Percy Lewis getting high marks so far. And to be clear, we had a bunch of plays here. We're only going to look at 10, but we had, I don't even know how many plays we had available to us to look at.
Yeah.
But
And this is another clip where he's just aware of what's going on. He sees 15 dropping. He knows that he can free up his guard now by falling back. So he falls back on 95, and his guard can help the center, which is big when it comes to getting double teams, utilizing your help. He did a good job here. As you see, he started as like a domino effect.
Hmm.
He falls back, now the guard can fall back and help the center. And that's good. And that's just doing your job. Nobody's going to write that in the papers. It won't be on a highlight tape, but he's just doing his job, doing what he's supposed to do, and just playing good sound football.
Yeah, but when they go back and look at this as an offensive unit, in the room after the game, they're going to look at that and they'll know what they're looking at.
Yeah. Yeah. So he started out good. You talked about the sled. This is a, a great angle of departure from the stance, flat back. This is what you want. Um, but he gets overextended, leaves his feet behind,
Hmm.
and the defender is able to disengage and sling him down. And that's tough because the defender is using his momentum against
Right.
him. Um, but when this is something that I work with my guys often. Um, you want to make sure when you unload on the guy that at some point when you roll your hips, your feet have to come with you. And if it doesn't happen, then you're going to be top heavy. You're going to be susceptible to getting pulled like this. And so you just want to fight pressure with pressure. So as he feels that pull, obviously you want to brace and you want to do the opposite of what he's doing. So he's pulling you down. You want to lift your head around your feet.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's got to be tough, especially and this is a thing of like conditioning later in the game. Like you stop bringing your legs with you to the party, and it makes it where you start doing stuff like this. You start reaching a little bit more,
Hmm.
to try to make stuff happen, as opposed to letting your lower body guide the action.
Yeah. No doubt. No doubt. I don't know what point in the game this is, but yeah, you're definitely right. As the game progresses, your legs get heavier and heavier, and you just got to continue to stick to your fundamentals and technique. And like I said earlier, it's eyes, feet, and hands. And sometimes we put the hands in front of the feet, and if we don't have good feet, then an explosive strike, it'll look good for a period, for a short moment, but you're going to lose it every time. You're going to lose the block.
Hmm.
And what good is that if you're not able? What good is a strike, a good explosive hit, if you're not able to sustain?
Right.
Because he did all that, he did all that work, and 15 could possibly make the tackle. So, um, yeah, this is not one of his highlights, but you can't win them all, and that's for sure.
Right.
That's for certain. But I think out of the plays that I watched, he had he had more good plays than bad plays.
All right. Let's see what else we got here. I think this. Yeah, I remember this play watching it.
Yeah, I mean, just another example of a big man moving laterally and getting displacement from the on the tackle. I mean, just one arm moving him, and it's not like he's casually making his blocks. I mean, he's really being explosive, and you can tell like the effort that he's put into the plays. It means a lot for him to be an offensive lineman. It takes pride in what he's doing.
Is this another one where he needs to get around to the other side, or is he good on this as far as his placement of his helmet?
Well, the fact that 47 is 47 is reading the guard for one. So when the guard blocks down, he's triggered to shoot that gap. So this is on this example, he didn't get his hat across the body,
Hmm.
which is ideal. But the fact that he was still able to get push, eliminate penetration, because the guy didn't penetrate, got him up in the air on one foot is phenomenal. Yeah. For him to make a play over there, like I wouldn't count off on the left tackle. Like something's not happening on the play side. You
Right.
get that much movement on the backside, we got to get more than that. Yeah, definitely excited about him. Great size, rangy, long. Um, he plays he plays with great extension in the run game and the pass game, and he's twitchy, and that's a term that I didn't use, but you definitely want your offensive lineman to be twitchy. You don't have to be the fastest, but if you can move quickly in that box, then you're gonna be able to make some plays and open up some holes. So
Nice.
yeah, yeah. Thanks for this opportunity, man. I obviously I wasn't aware of him, but now I am,
Mhm.
and I'm going to be watching him, see what he does come
Yeah.
Saturday. We'll
Yeah,
see.
Saturday we'll see what he does when it's
Mhm.
live action versus Alabama A&M, and maybe we'll come back and talk post game about some of the reps that he put out there and see if
Yeah,
he
yeah. Let's do
puts it
that.
on
But
film
now, what
how
year
he.
is he?
He's a senior. He's a transfer senior.
Okay,
Yeah, so this will be
transfer
his last
senior.
year.
All right, good.
All
All
right.
right.
Well, once again, we appreciate the man Ben Grubbs coming in here, schooling us on all things about offensive linemen. Ben, just give him another quick plug for the stuff that you've got going on. We were talking earlier. You got a little high school, or is it high school football that you're coaching?
Yeah, high school football. So high school football, I coach offensive line here in Alpharetta, Georgia. And I also own my own training business, Game Time Performance, where I train offensive linemen and linebackers, and I do strength training as well. And this year, I got some good guys coming out there. One guy's committed to James Madison University. My other offensive lineman is committed to Liberty University,
Mm.
and I have another offensive lineman who hasn't committed yet, but has some offers. So this is going to be a great class for me. I love training. I love giving back, the knowledge that I have. Offensive line, is not a position that everybody knows, and you can't just look at a YouTube video and think you know how to teach offensive line, because there's a lot of nuances and a lot of details
Right.
that matter when it comes to coaching the position. So, I take pride in what I do. I enjoy what I do, and not a lot of guys want to play the offensive line. So when you get a group, when you get those individuals that want to be in the trenches, um, I love it, and I definitely. Um, I definitely love giving back to those special group of guys.
Awesome. Well, we appreciate you giving us a little time and sharing some knowledge, man. We'll definitely get back with you on more of this film review at some time in the future. And if you, I'm gonna make sure that we link people if they want to have some sort of training in the Georgia area, they know where to go to the man Ben Grubbs for offensive line and linebacker. But we are
Yes,
out of
sir.
here. War Report, folks. Make sure that you guys like this video and share the content with somebody out there. We'll be back at you guys with great Auburn content later. But until the next time, and as always, War Eagle.
War Eagle, baby.